Hi friends, it's Michelle here. Welcome back to Women, Wisdom, and Woo. I'm here with Emma. Hi Emma.
Hi.
We're also here with our Auntie Lynn. Hi Auntie.
Hi.
We're back and we're going to try to start off this episode with pulling a card, an angel card, before we start. And that deck that we're using today is the Healing Angel Cards, Loving Guidance from the Angels by Tony Carmen Salerno. And we pulled the card today, and the card was kindness. A kind gesture rekindles your belief in the power of love. Remember to be kind to yourself. And so that was the card for the day.
That's a good one for all of us, I think, because not to turn the audience to females, but that's the perspective we have right now. And we were talking about how females are not kind to ourselves, and we're very much judgmental and hard on ourselves for things that we don't need to be so hard on ourselves about.
That's very true. It's easier to be kind to someone else than it is yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but half the things that I say or do to myself, I would never do to even my worst enemy. And that's not how I treat myself. And I don't know why, as women, we do that. So,
good luck finding out, guys. We can't help you.
Well, I wouldn't say that. I think that we're a work in progress, and we're learning how to be kinder to ourselves. I don't know. Auntie, do you think that as we get older that you learn to be kinder to yourself the older you get, or do you still struggle with it too?
I still struggle with it. Struggle with it a lot. It's hard. I think I've gotten better at it. I just don't care anymore.
Can I say this too? As you have more time with yourself, not in the work field, are you noticing that you're giving yourself more grace and more time to focus on yourself?
I've never thought about it, but I think so. I do what I want to do. I'm busy. People used to tell me when you retire, you're more busy, and I didn't believe them, and now I understand. But the difference is I'm doing things for me. So being kind to myself kind of falls in with that. If I'm doing things for me, I'm kinder to myself. I feel better. I accomplish things I want to accomplish. So it does. And when you're busy with busy work schedules, you tend to beat yourself up.
Right. So as someone who is just entering the work stage, explain to me how you're more busy after you retire, because I personally, I'm not understanding that.
You just don't get it, huh?
No.
You will. You will someday. Believe me, you will. I'm available. I have grandchildren who are the apple of my eye. My children, my grandchildren are my world, and they're young. I have a 10. Oh my gosh, they're 10 and 11, the boys, and I have a great granddaughter who's a year and a half, almost 2.
Granddaughter.
I do.
My gosh.
And when I get the opportunity to spend time with them and babysit them and play with them, it takes up so much of my time, and it's so joyful. And I could go on and on and on about them, so we don't want to go there because that's a whole other episode. But just the other day, I reorganized my basement. How many people who are working a full-time job can actually reorganize your basement?
Right.
It was a mess for about a week. It still is, but it's still in the process of reorganization, and it gives you this satisfaction of, oh my gosh, look at that! I did something for myself. I could actually know where things are.
Yeah. My thing is like, I'll do the same thing. I'm like, oh, I have to reorganize my closet, but I don't get to it for a month. It's like a topic, oh, I need to do this, but we don't have the time, kind of thing.
Because you're busy doing other things. You're working. You're taking care of whatever, and we women just take care of each other. We take care of other people all the time.
And in the end, was that basement really was, as somebody who likes to organize, we both like to organize all the time. It was something for you, because I don't know about you, but when things are organized, like that makes me feel better.
Makes your life a heck of a lot more easy. It really does. And maybe it's a control thing. There's another topic, right?
Women love the control.
The other thing is even medical. I actually make doctor's appointments now and go to the doctors because I don't have to juggle around the work schedule. Oh, I can't go. I got to work and, all that kind of stuff. So I'm taking better care of myself physically.
And that is definitely a topic that I can comment on in terms of appointments, because I know, like, I have a friend of mine, like, literally we yell at each other to go get our mammogram. I'll be like, did you get your mammogram this year? And she's like, no, I didn't get it. And I go, when's the last time you did a mammogram? She's like, I haven't gone for 2 years. Because as women, when I was your mom, Emma, your appointments were all done. Mine weren't. But I made sure that you were someplace.
Right.
And that because I didn't have time, because I was in the workforce to do it. And we put our kids first. But now you have time to do your appointments. And when you're in the workforce and working all day and having children, you're the last person to make appointments for. And now, Emma, that you're older and you're a young adult and I'm not a mother to you as a little infant, then I now have more time for me and I can start scheduling those appointments again. But like I was telling Auntie, number one, I do find it hard to, it's like I'm relearning how to take care of myself. And it's a process. I can't just jump back into it. My friend and I are still reminding each other, because her daughters are older too, to schedule appointments because we've gotten out of the habit of it. You in your 20s right now are in the habit of just caring for yourself. But when you get out of the habit, I'm relearning it again. And I have to remind myself to start caring for myself again. And exactly at the stage that I am with you now, it's hard to remind myself that you can care for yourself and that I'm so used to caring for you that I have to let you, because that's part of your journey forward. I have to let you go. And that's not an easy thing to as a mother. I've talked to you about this, Auntie.
Is it?
I think it's the hardest part of motherhood.
Absolutely.
We don't talk about it either. Like, I don't think anybody prepared me for how hard it was going to be, the letting go stage. I'd go back to lice in the hair. I would go back to the sleepless nights.
Yep.
All of that is not as hard as the letting go. And I want to let go, because if I don't, then I'm enabling you and I'm not teaching you how to be your own person and how to be an adult.
But you've already done that job, if you think about it. You did all that already. So your job is complete for the most part.
Yes.
You have there's other issues that will come,
right,
through life, but
isn't that the hard part though? Like, because even you saying that, I felt a little tug in my heart. Your job is complete, and that's what I think too. I've talked to other mothers. You don't feel as needed anymore.
You don't, which is another. It's just the next phase.
Yeah.
It's just the next phase, and then there'll be another phase, and then there'll be another phase. Because we all go through these phases, right? For the first time, I think I can identify with my mother. The things that I had no idea she was feeling, and I couldn't understand them, so I never thought about them. Things I should have done, things I should have said, things I should more. The whole regret thing comes in, or not necessarily regret, but I should have.
Right.
But,
and you don't understand until you get to that phase,
right?
Because you can't be mad at yourself for I should, because you wouldn't have known until you get there.
You don't know. I'm just a kid, Mom. Okay, I'm doing fine. You don't have to worry about me. But that you could tell my mother that all you wanted. She's going to continue to worry. My kids tell me that all the time. Well, they just want to know where their mother went, because according to them, I'm not her anymore, because I treat their kids so differently than I treated them. So that's a whole other topic too. But it's hard. It's really hard, and you've got a lot of things that you're going to go through, Emma. With your time is coming, is what I'm saying. But it's joyful. Most of it's joyful. It's hard. It's joyful. It's
hard. It's joyful.
And there you go. The roller coaster. Those are the two ends of it, right?
I think it's good that you guys have each other to talk to too, because Auntie, you're in the stage of your kids being old enough to have kids, and they do have kids, and so you're in the stage of letting go of that and only kind of coming around when you're, when she needs help and stuff like that, and you're in the stage of letting go of me, and your stages kind of correlate nicely, where you can be like, hey, it gets better, and you can be like, hey, how does it get better, kind of
and
thing.
then I call her and I'm like crazy because it's not better now.
Right.
Why is it better now?
I lied to you.
Yes. That whole conversation we had yesterday was a big lie.
Exactly. But this is what the whole podcast is also about, right? It's about perspective. Everything is perspective. And it's each other's perspective that helps carrying forward. I'm raising you, Emma, and you're having problems with a girlfriend or something, and I'm going to give you my perspective. I remember when I had my friend and she was mad at me for this or whatever the issue was. And then when I'm having mine, I go to Auntie and I'm like, Auntie, I don't know, Emma's driving me crazy. Or she was, whatever that issue was. And then she can tell me, and it takes a village. And that's what I think us women do best. We carry each other forward to each of the next phases by giving our perspective on it. So
what do you anticipate for you growing up? I shouldn't say growing up. You are grown up. Getting older. Do you think you're going to try to spend more time for yourself?
I think, after graduating high school and cosmetology school, I think balancing the workforce with my own time has definitely been a challenge, because it's easy for me to get lost in my work, and then on other aspects it's easy for me to get lost in myself. And I think that's a lot of what I'm going through right now, is kind of balancing both at the same time, because this is only my third or fourth year balancing school with work kind of thing, so I'm still very much figuring out the ins and outs of everything. And some weeks I take better care of myself, and some weeks I take better care of my work, and I think, I lean towards the both of you on that, and kind of showing me, the right steps to take, and when to focus on myself, and when to focus on my work, and how to pull everything together, and, just...
And you're so good at being open to that, because a lot of young adults today won't go to their parents, and, they just kind of struggle through some things, and hopefully they have parents that they could go to and be a very good support group for them.
I like the fact that I have, as we've been mentioning a lot, the perspectives of my friends and how they're balancing it as they're in it, or I go to you guys and how you're balancing your new stages and how you did balance it when you were in it, and I kind of take a little bit from everybody, and then I go about it from there.
It's all a learning process, though, because Auntie will tell me her perspective on how she did it, but it might not necessarily. Then individuality comes in.
Everybody's different.
And then, no offense intended, you two think exactly alike. So when
little bit.
You give her advice, I'm like, I do not understand that at all. It's like you two are twins, and we've had that joke going on. I might as well say that Auntie gave birth to you and not me, because you guys think a lot. It's the way you think, too, so there's that individuality of it, and all of it takes practice. There's I can sit here, make a schedule, because that's more of who I am. I'll write out my to-do list, and what it doesn't mean, and I'm going to because I'm shooting for balance, it doesn't mean I'm going to make it in that day and pull it off, but it's practice and keep coming back to it.
And that's the last thing I would do is make a list. I cannot go by lists. It just doesn't work.
That gets me so stressed out.
You too. Yeah. See, I can't do it, because it would overwhelm me to make the list. So I take things as they come, really, and kind of do what I want to do. Well, plus the fact that if I do need to go for the kids, then I'm there, and everything's dropped. So there goes my list.
Yeah.
So or I decide I want to go shopping, and let's go shopping instead. Just tear up the list and go.
Right. As much as we're all in different stages, I think, as my mom was saying, there very much is a learning process of, hey, I know, Auntie, I'm in this stage, but I need to go back to Mom's stage a little bit in the, balancing this new lifestyle, and kind of going from there a little bit. And you help her with, hey, I know this stage is coming, but what do I do in the meantime, kind of thing, Well,
we're very blessed to have each other that much. We're very, very fortunate, like Auntie said, because not everybody has each other. But that's another reason why we're doing the podcast. So anything we can bring to you to help and to share, we're happy to do it, to bring our perspectives and our different personalities, because there's got to be people out there who love lists like me. So there you have.
There are plenty of them, yes.
The first year I retired, I did nothing. Basically nothing the entire year. It was like I was just regrouping for the next stage of my life. I just kind of putzed around the house all day and didn't really do much of anything. And then COVID hit, so everybody was putzing around the house. But it just... I didn't know what to do with myself.
It's figuring out your stage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've heard that people say that, Auntie. It's not just you. Like, it's a decompressing.
I guess.
And you like, but I have heard people say that. Like,
Really?
once they retire, they're like, they didn't know what to do with themselves. But I also think it's like I was saying to Emma, right? Like, I'm learning how to take care of myself again because I don't have as much time taking care of you. You had to learn how to. You had tons of time to be taking care of yourself, and your
Like all of a sudden.
all of a
Yeah.
sudden, and you have to figure out what that means for you. And I think as women, we're constantly used to being busy and busy and busy and busy and busy and having to-do lists that you never get to. And when you have all this time for yourself, you're just like, what the heck do I do with this? And I think also our body has to learn how to slow down. So, but I think that's also another aspect of it, though. And I'm going to use the word, and I'm not trying to segregate the men out of this, but I think as women, we are more programmed to nurture and care for groups and individuals and everything like that. So it's more innate to us to keep going, to nurture and take care of. Whereas I think men, have a tendency to be, well, I think they even say this, like the way the man's brain actually thinks, they can compartmentalize, where women can multitask more.
Well, that's a multi-podcast on that one.
That is. But, so I'm trying not to make the men out to be the bad guys.
No,
I'm
just saying the comparison.
Programmed to do this, but you're right.
The
it's a whole
comparison
episode.
between the two, yeah, that's been a couple of comedy shows on that, actually.
Yeah.
But no, I think you're right. I think men have I don't know whether it's an easier way to do it or they just do it more naturally. They just don't have the nurture gene like we do. So that's just the one big difference, I think, between men and women.
Yeah.
So they tend to breeze right through that part of it.
Yeah. And so do you think, though, that we have to ask a man at that, but I think because of that, they care
So
for
men
themselves.
out there, if you want to give your opinion, we'd really like to hear it.
I think that because they compartmentalize better, that they self-care better, and because our brains are all over the place and we multitask and we nurture, we find it harder to take care of ourselves.
Because we always came last.
Ooh, good.
And as women, you guys are used to nurturing other people. You're not so much used to nurturing yourself.
Right.
That never
time
happened.
for it.
Was never time.
With all that being said, Auntie already invited all the men, so we ask all of you, males and females, to give us your feedback and your perspective on how you find balance in the work life and family life, and how you remember to add in your self-care. You can find us at Women, Wisdom, and Woo on all platforms, including our website, and we thank you for joining us, Women, Wisdom, and Woo, the podcast.
Till next time.
We're out.